What is going on, guys? We are doing another video on custom teams, but this custom team video is about the logo editing and the team details because a lot of that stuff is tricky. Okay, so let's get right into it. Okay, you're obviously going to load whatever roster you want once you've built the team that you want for your franchise, for your created team. Okay, I'm not going to do that for this video, but because that's not the purpose. Okay, so you're going to hit R1 to customize your team, obviously. Now you can load something you've already created as that team, but we're going to create a new one here. Okay, now I'm going to show you something really specific here because it's very tricky and it's not really, it has a lot of tricks to it. Okay, now I'm going to create me a logo. Okay, now before creating a logo, this is just a side note. I recommend doing this. Like, no, I recommend looking for something that the commentators can say, and then trying to create a logo based on that. Like, like let's say, oh, I'm gonna call my team the Ballers. Okay, and you
The
can
51s,
hold on. Let me go back to
the
that.
Ballers,
You can
the
listen to them say it
Ballers.
by hitting square. This is the PlayStation 5 version, but they're all pretty much the same. So let's say I want my team called the Ballers. Okay, my team's gonna be called the Atlanta Ballers. Obviously you can call them whatever you want, but we're gonna call them the Ballers just for the sake of this video because I'm giving you some information here. Okay, so we're called the Ballers. Now, this is the tricky part, logo editor. Okay, it's tricky, but I'm gonna give you some information here. Now you have your logo vault from the community creations. I'm not going on here because there's some content on here that got me flagged once. There's some stuff that's considered inappropriate, so I'm not gonna mess with it, but we're gonna go here because that's the purpose of this video. So you start off with this. Okay, now remember my team's called the Ballers, so let's go ahead and hit X. Okay, I'm gonna insert new, find something that resembles the term Ballers. you know let's find something like a character or something of that nature. you know And remember, you can go down the list too. That's something that I wasn't doing a second ago. Okay, natural, organic, animals. You know. You know what? For the sake of this video, we're gonna be called the dogs. Okay, that's what we're gonna be called. Okay, so now I'm just going to put the word dogs on here, and this is not gonna be the best looking thing you've ever seen. It's not, but I'm just kind of walking you through it here, just showing you how this works. Now you're going to take your D and move it around with the L analog, and you're going to change the size with the R analog. Whether you want to make it bigger, smaller, or analog. Once you place it, you hit X, and then you add your next part to your logo that you want to create. Okay, we'll call it the dogs. So you know we want our logo to look kind of crazy like this, right? And we're gonna do this here. Okay, we'll call it the dogs. Now, as you can see, you can change the color, of your. Now, I choose not to do this. I choose to hit R1 and use this here. That just works better for me. Okay, I want that to be red, right? Now you can switch over. Okay, you can use the D-pad to switch to other letters and change the color of that as well. Whatever you want to do. Let's say I want these colors different. I want these colors to be blue for whatever reason. Okay, so there's my team, and then I can also change the color of my dog. What color do I want my dog to be? Our dog is gonna be, he's gonna be brown. Okay, so there's our dog. Okay, now here's the part that you got to pay attention to. Okay, when you hit start, you want to save your logo, okay? Because you're gonna have to load this logo in order to put the logo on your uniform, okay? That's what you're gonna have to do. So I've saved my logo now. Okay, now I'm backing out of it. So that's my logo. We're called the dogs. Okay, so let's go to uniform. Okay, home uniform hat. Okay, so now I'm going here. Logo. I'm gonna select my logo. Okay, now once I'm here, I'm gonna hit start, load. I'm gonna load this logo. Okay. Okay, there's my logo. Okay, so that's the logo I'm gonna use. And as you can see, the logo is now on my hat. So that's how you place it on the hat. You have to load it on there. And that's actually a fairly decent logo. It's a little weak, but you know, that's how you put it on there. Okay, so now let's go ahead and put it on our you know our jersey as well. And obviously you have all this stuff here. You select all this different stuff. There's a lot of really cool details on here. You know, you just go through it with the D-pad. Once you go there, you know. Okay, so now you go here, select the logo. Okay, now I'm going to hit the start button again and load. And I'm going to load that logo that I just saved. Okay. Okay, so now we have an issue here. Okay, so now what you're going to see sometimes is that the logo is too big for the shirt. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit select all by hitting down on the D-pad. Okay, and then you're going to move the right analog down, and then you're going to move the left analog down. This is going to make the logo smaller, okay, so that it fits on the uniform. Okay, so now I'm going to hit start now. Would you like to load an existing logo? No. Okay, so now I'm going to back out of it, and as you can see, it's on the uniform now. Now you can move it around on the uniform. Okay, so now my logo is on my jersey, right? So that's basically how that works. Okay, so now we're gonna go through that. What I don't like about this game is, okay, let's go to uniforms. Now when I go to away, I gotta repeat all this stuff, but it's kind of a good thing because if you create two logos for your team, you can load two different logos. Like let's say I just want the word dogs, or I just want the dog symbol on there. Okay, I can do this. Watch this. Like, okay, now these are my way, okay? So let's say I select my logo, I load my logo, okay? I load the same logo. Now watch this. If I want to, I can, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I can do this here. Okay, I can do that right there. And then I can delete those items, and I can now save that logo as like dog 2, okay? And I can use that alternate logo for my away uniforms. And if you want to change the color of it, you can, like just to give it a different look, you can do that. So I'm saving it right now. Okay, so now I'm backing out. So now my away team has that. Okay, so what if I want it bigger than that? Okay, or in a different spot? Okay, let's talk about that. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the hat. Okay, okay, so now I'm moving it up with the left analog. Okay, now it's up in a different position. Now that would only make sense for the jerseys, not really the hats. Okay, as you can see, it's back in the center. Maybe I want the logo bigger. Okay, Maybe I want it bigger, right? I'm going to use the R analog to expand it, right? Then I'm just going to hit circle to back out. And now my logo's bigger. Okay? And it works the same way with the jersey. Like, for example, the other jersey, it was smack dead in the center. What if I don't want it smack dead in the center, okay? Then, you know, again, you're going to hit start load logo, okay? Okay, now I'm going to select all, and make the whole logo smaller. And now I can move it around like this. Okay, move it up in the corner, and then I back out of it with circle. And now my logo is up there, okay? That's too far, right? So now I'm gonna do it again. Okay, I'm gonna move it again, make it a little bit bigger. Back out with circle, and then it's right there, basically. So that's how you would do that. You would do that as you know, as often as you need to, until you got it in the proper position. You know, now from what I understand, you can only put one logo on here, but you can put two logos together on a created logo and do something like that. Okay, so that's how you put your logos that you create on your jersey correctly. Now let's go to sleeves. Okay, you can't really put like a logo on the sleeve or anything like that, which is kind of a bummer, but I think this custom team thing is very good, so I'm not gonna complain about it. You got your number fonts and all that stuff, you know, different font styles. Got your jersey name font. You had 10 options. You can do something like this if you want. Then you got your numbers. And by the way, they give you some really good options, you know. There's 10 of them, but, you know, they give you a lot. Whether or not you want your jersey in the front, okay? You put your location of your number, right? You know, put it exactly where you want it. This is very awesome stuff, man. I will tell you that. You can put your sleeve number. Now, it's only on one sleeve, which is fine. But there's some baseball teams that do that. I've seen it before, you know. So let's go to pants. You can't put logos or anything on the pants for very good reasons, because nobody really does that, right? You know, all your different styles, you know, like stripes and stuff like that. Not a crazy amount of options on the pants, you know. But let's go back. Okay, then you got this here. Okay, you can put your logo on. Now, when I created a team before and I used them, I forgot to put the logo on here. I totally forgot to do it. So you can go here, load the logo. Okay, got my got my logo here. Now I'm gonna back out. Okay, let's say that's not big enough, so I'm gonna go back to it, kind of expand it a little bit. Let's say that is big enough, back out. Okay, that looks good, right? So there's my helmet. You know, we'll call the dogs. Now again, go to, you know, team details, change the team name. I've made so many mistakes creating teams. I've created so many teams in this game. Some of them, I forget to change the audio of the name. So whatever team you select, that's going to be the default name. Like I selected the Braves, so they were Braves by default, Atlanta by default. Okay, and this is really cool too. You can go outside of the country, man, and create teams from other countries if you want to. They have so many options on here for your city name, and the commentators will say the name. You know, you can create a team in Venezuela, whatever the case may be. So you can do all that stuff on here. I think there's even some fictional. I don't know if Sugarland is fictional. I think it is, but you got all these options for your Seoul. That's a Korean team. Shanghai. You know, we all know Saskatoon. I think this is a Canadian. Saskatchewan. I think I'm not sure. I know Saskatoon is Canadian, but I don't know. You got San Andreas, Santa Cruz. You have so many options on all this stuff here. Now, so you have all that there. Then you got your stadium select. This is the PS5 version, so I can use a created stadium for my custom team. Now, I will tell you, if you don't have the PS5 or Xbox Series X version, you still have a lot of stadium options. So you're pretty good off. You got classic stadiums. You can use one of these training, and then there's, you got your classics. This is a very cool stadium right here. I like this one. It has that old dingy look, but then the background with that building, I think that's pretty cool. I'm not sure if the audience is going to look like they're from another time period or not when you play here. That's an interesting thing, though, to think about. So you got this here. That right there is interesting. How that door is over there. Where's the home run? I don't know. But then you can go to your minor league stadiums. You have a lot of options there, too. So, but just select whatever stadium you want. For the PS5 version, obviously you're going to customize the stadium. But anyway, those are your details for customizing a team. With the logos can be tricky. I want to show you some side notes, though, before I end this video. Okay, we're going to go to logo editor. Okay, so I'm going to back out of this and show you something that's, kind of tricky. Okay, so, okay, let's say I'm starting from scratch, right? Okay, when you're creating a logo, right, and you're adding parts to your logo, let's just say I'm just doing this just to do it, right? Now, I made this crazy mistake one time. I created all these different layers to my logo, and then I was trying to, I wanted to delete part of it, so I hit X, and I went to delete, okay? But the problem is, I made the mistake of having everything selected because as long as you see those check marks on everything, that means everything's selected. And then when you hit delete, everything's gone. And it was something that I took my time on creating, and the whole thing was gone. So it was kind of a bummer, and it was quite annoying. But anyway, that's just a side note. Pay attention when you're deleting parts of your logo. Make sure that part is selected. Anyway, that's going to be this video. Those are just some details, to help you customize your logo and put them on your uniform, just to kind of make it better for you. It was very tricky for me.